History was made. Holy crap, it happened. If the anxiety was there, it should be gone. Let's talk about it. Forex Shark, he finally did it. We're just going to start off by clapping. Congratulations, Forex, the drip community, Animal Farm. Holy crap, it happened. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Matt, and this is
Potter.
We build financial power. It's what we're all about. Appreciate you sliding by. One of the projects that we are in, and we're not saying you need to get in because, quite frankly, we're still learning it. And we're in drip, and there's a sister project called Animal Farm, and there's a guy that goes by the alias Forex Shark. And holy crap, after an 9-month delay, it is launched, and it's installed, I think, a lot of confidence. This past Tuesday on the 1st, it happened. Potter, how you feeling about it? I already know, but you tell them, how do you feel?
I'm good. This is the disclaimer portion where we tell you no matter how much alacrity we show or excitement, that we're not financial advisors. We're not, licensed. Those people are licensed, and we don't recommend anything. We're going through a road and we're sharing it. And if you get some guidance, because, we're pretty knowledgeable about what we're talking about, you can use that, but in no way should it be construed as financial advice. We recommend strongly that you don't just do your own research, you study due diligence and do that as well, even when seeking out a professional.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, diving into anything without former knowledge is kind of silly to do so. So Matt told me to go all in. What the
wait, Matt, is that sirens I hear pulling up?
That is someone I know off of YouTube, and yeah, we've had some conversations about it. But holy crap, good sir, Era, it finally launched. I know when you and I talked about it last, it was like at least 8 months ago. It finally launched. I have been in the past critical of Forex and the projects and this and that because I am optimistic. I believe crypto is going to be here. It's a future. It's not going away. I believe it's the way, man. But what I don't do is fanboy and just go all in because he said something. I got to see action. And after the delays and whatnot, and I told Potter on one of the last shows we were on, I was like, I'm starting to question if this might not be a rug. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Because when you get told something so many times, we've said it a billion times. There have been many YouTubers that have said the same thing. It's no longer about that. To see the launch happen, for Drip to be here as long as it has been, he's installing more confidence with this launch. What did he lose? Who knows? Let's not worry about it. Let's move on. Nothing's going to be perfect. You pick up from where you messed up and you keep going. And that's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. He launched the friggin' thing, and holy hell, the complexity. I knew the complexity of the Animal Farm was way up there. It is damn sure not for beginners, I think. I think you have to, and I've been trying to grab on to just one concept and process it. The drip garden was one of the first things you got me into, and the piggy banks. I think those are probably some of the most simple concepts, but there is so much on Animal Farm. Holy crap. So where is your most excitement? Do you have excitement in certain areas where you're like, that's what I want to be diving into? Did you get into anything? Tell me.
Yes, I have excitement and lots of it.
You and I, off the camera, she and I, we really haven't talked much about since the launch, if you've gotten into any positions, anything like that. So go ahead.
Right. So the other good news is, because I was so happy talking to everybody about it the past 2 days, I've come up with good analogies based on the analogies that we've already used. So
Nice.
if you've been following us, you'll know that we called it a theme park.
True.
And we said that the Animal Farm was just one ride is open, and there's this old ride that was always working. Mm-hmm. And the old one that was always working was Drip.
Okay.
And then the new one that opened in the new theme park, and all Animal Farm being the new theme park, was Piggy Bank. Right. And it was like, right. Okay, Let's see if that works. And as expected, a lot of angry, emotional people, understandably emotional, right at the time when all the calamity happened with the animal farm, the market crashed. So Forex was holding on to, people's funds to say, hey, they're safe, or SAFU, right? But we should do this right. So when he finally launched the Animal Farm Piggy Bank, you just saw the price just going down, but that was to be expected.
Yeah.
But on any other DeFi app, what you see is it doesn't stop. It just keeps going down, right? And if they hold, they usually hold at $1 or $2. Pig AFP or Pig's token held at $54, and now is over double that.
That's true.
So that's the mechanisms working inside. So this is why I just gave him a background. Now I'll bring it up to the new part, why I'm excited. The things that you're seeing, the hard parts that I don't want to explain to you yet, Matt.
Sure.
are concessions. They're concessions, right? So where does the park make the money? Does it make the money on the rides? No. It makes the money on the concessions, the t-shirts, the food, it does all that.
Era, I don't need your added laughing at that. But no, Potter, I think that's such a smart move on your part, because Potter, like, one thing, and I don't want to cut you off here, but Potter, like, she has such excitement in DeFi, and mine is growing, but my intelligence around it is also growing. So while I understand drip and all that concept, like, it's a lot to adopt. So I think Potter has realized, like, you can't throw everything at Matt all at once, or I'm like, what's happening? So it's good to see. Good to see. I appreciate it.
And remember, I learned that the hard way, right? Telling people who I was like, well, you're a little bit of a gambler, but I'll show you DeFi anyway. And then what do? They just do what they wanted to, right? So it's normal that explained to me, like,
that's true. So Aaron knows me. Exactly. Aaron knows me.
I'm like, only a friend would say that, So I look at it as concessions, right? And so when you have the taxes, you have the auto staking, you have the BNB with the dogs pools, you have the different pools, you have the farms. All of these things are paying for the park. They're paying for Animal Farm. Okay. But we can talk about that, or we can show proof that it's working. And what Forex did is he showed proof that it's working, because we'll talk about this in another show, but I went and looked at the amount of drip that there are now. There's 3.2 million drip.
Really?
Yeah. So the liquidity really grew. But if the liquidity didn't grow, it would be done. Drip would be over, right? It was supposed to weather this kind of a storm.
Right.
And Animal Farm was supposed to be there already, so that never would have happened.
Now, are you saying the liquidity has increased because we had to mint tokens, or because...
Yes, we had to mint tokens because people were saying, I want to cash out, I want to cash out, I want to cash out. So to help them cash out, the minting had to turn on to create enough drip for them to cash out.
So then let's dive into that. Does that mean at any point that some of these minted coins, will some of them be burned at some point? Will we reduce the supply?
Yes. That's the mechanism that he has built in.
So how does that happen?
So in the concessions, that logic. So you have your tax. That's where I was saying, let me ease you into that. There's just so many. When you look at, and we're going to go through this next week. We're going to show you the Animal Farm, and we'll go through the different parts of it.
Nice.
Right? But we won't even be able to, in 20 minutes, we won't even be able to get through
I would imagine
the majority of it. But what I'm saying is all of those different mechanisms, every little modular modal you see, a modal is a little square. Every little modal you see that has a sell, invests, buy, stake, auto compound,
Mhm.
all of that is paying into a royalty bucket or a treasury.
Mm.
That treasury has, think of it like an octopus,
Mhm.
sitting on something. It's just got, uh, in the Flintstones,
Mhm.
they had this octopus that was taking care of all the babies. And so
Mm.
it just like picked up the babies, changed the
Uh-huh.
diaper.
Okay.
That's what the treasury is doing. It's
Okay.
going, okay, this is for Pigpen, this is for Piggy Bank, this is for Drip.
Mhm.
Now, let's just focus on the treasury for Drip. When it
Mhm.
dropped in the Drip Bank, so what was happening before was the royalties were being paid for the BNB. Not only was Drip being minted, but BNB was being paid, right? So we had to fund that, and thank
Okay.
God we just had enough in our treasuries
Okay.
to manage that. That's far more complex. I really watered it down there.
Understood.
But
Appreciate it.
for the first time, and Forex posted, he posted this.
Hmm.
So this is not me making it up. That after the Animal Farm launch, for the first time, all royalties were paid from the Animal Farm. Right?
Whoa.
That's like,
Okay.
what? Now we
Whoa.
just had before that all of that stuff coming out of Drip, and Drip was sustaining.
I know. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what? So now we have 3 million where we had 1 million. We had 3.2 million Drip now. Okay. So that's going to take a lot to take out. Well, the washing machine, the constant, no, the plumbing is on, right? The plumbing is on, that is always going to be working 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Drip is going to be purchased. Dogs are going to be purchased and burned, not just, or so dogs will be burned, and we'll talk about that mechanism differently. But Drip will be deposited into both the reservoir as well as the reservoir 2. Remember, he's coming up with a second reservoir to help support the floor of Drip.
Whoa.
So he's just got all of these dadgum things going. And he is the only one. There is nobody else in DeFi, no one who's doing it. Lots of plans. I mean, like Piston, hey, they seem to be kind of getting it together. Mm-hmm. But is that related to the Forex launch? Mm-hmm. Don't know. But what's going to happen is, like, you see the Drip price like all over the place. 1 second it's close to $5 and it's down to $5.40, right? But that's just the mechanisms they're out of whack. Mm-hmm. Like, you should not see the price variance on the two chains. It's still on the same change, but you shouldn't see it fluctuating as much as it is. Yeah. But it's all working. So, the craze is out right now. Mm-hmm. But on the old Animal Farm, the first launch, V1, when I had probably double the amount, double the amount of staking in the pig pen, and we had like so many transactions. I got like 8 cents, right? Huh. And now I'm getting like $2 and something. Wow! And I have half of that.
When's that time frame? The $2 though?
A day.
Wow, that's freaking crazy.
Right. So, like, whether you want to go into the pig pen and say, I don't want to live in the pig pen, whether you want to go into the pools and say, you know what, dogs is doing good, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to buy dogs BNB, and I'm going to stake that, and I'm going to let that ride, and then they're going to pay me for staking. Okay. And I'm going to get the transactions, all the transactions going to the pigs. I've got something in the pig pen, so I collect on that too. Maybe, you know what? I don't want to put my frickin' BNB inside of Coinbase or Binance. I'm going to stake it in the Animal Farm and gain dogs from that. Right. If I take those dogs and I stake those dogs, I'll pay less taxes. He's got something in it for like a period of time. The longer you're in, it's like a loyalty score. So your taxes even come down, and it auto compounds, and it puts everything in there. Wow. It's ridiculous. And he hasn't even announced about what he's going to be doing with Scratchy. Yeah. Now, here's the good thing about the 3 million over 1 million drip. That is
Okay.
really good. For Scratchy, that's good news.
Okay.
But I want people to think about if there weren't 3 million drip, right? The price would it'd be right back where it was in January.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But there's just so much of it out there.
Yeah.
And there's some in Pancake Swap and there's some in the faucet. And now people are figuring out where they're going.
Right.
On top of that, he's taken away. Forex is not a huge fan of the garden from his AMAs. He likes it, but it was something that people convinced him to do. He didn't ever want to do it. So when you look at it, you can compare it to Apple.
Has he said that, or is it Has he said that, or has it been speculation on your part?
Yeah, like so with Apple and Apple TV, it's kind of both.
Got it.
So with Apple and Apple TV, Steve Jobs would always go, Apple TV, it's kind of like, a little pet rock, but other people were using it, right? And eventually they saw, I think Apple TV is going to be big. Yeah, finally. So, but Apple TV was made reluctantly. And so Steve Jobs would intimate that at any of his events. And Apple TV, he would just talk it down.
To throw in.
And so from seeing Steve Jobs do that, I saw Forex doing the same thing with, Animal Farm. If you're talking about a bunch of other stuff and you're only talking about this a little bit, that kind of leads me to it. So he has made another way inside of the Animal Farm to create a drip BUSD pair and have that create pigs. So I think he's going to probably move to that model as opposed to keep the Animal Farm going, because the Animal Farm, you do have to keep participating. And once you decide to take out, it just drops. So that's a little bit of a hustle. So I've got to, I want the price to go up a lot more because it's just going down for no reason. And I know that that's just due to liquidity. When there's less liquidity, the price is going to go up. You just have to wait it out.
Yeah.
And, when it launched, there weren't 3 million drip.
Right.
Right. And then we talk about, I don't even understand the breakup yet of how drip is working in the Animal Farm when it comes in Pancake Swap. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like when it comes to splitting it apart, I don't know if they created double or I don't know.
Okay. Well,
is it making sense?
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. So if you are sitting there and you're wondering, like, what's the deal with Animal Farm? Like, why is it such a good thing? And drip, I'm still speculative about. Here's the deal. One thing that I held on for so long, I was like, whatever DeFi project, crypto project, whatever, there has to be utility. Once I grabbed on to it, there has to be utility. I was like, okay, it has a use case. That's what utility means. The Animal Farm is creating utility for drip. If you look at drip at face value and drip was only sitting there by itself, drip is built off of Ponzi-nomics. Now, that doesn't mean that it is a Ponzi scheme. There are many, many things that are built out of Ponzi-nomics, but when you put utility to it, drip really starts to shine. And in my head, I'm now having more and more belief about drip because now it has utility. Now it is not just, we love it, it's cool, it's the community, it's, just this paying out machine thing. So the concept of drip, paying out that 1% a day, the idea of a certificate of deposit, that's how it works. That's why I was attracted to it. Now, future utility was something I had to understand, and Animal Farm is creating that utility, so it's cool to see. I'm saying all that to say, why should you at home actually give a crap or understand the connection? That's where that connection is for those two. And there's specific utility that is coming directly to drip, such as this thing called Scratchies that's coming up. And then there's now, it's dogs, right? Dogs is basically, it's going to be teamed up with drip in a way that drip has to be bought for the dogs. So, and another thing is this, in my head, I always thought utility means
drip doesn't have to be bought for the dogs, but I just wanted to.
What did he announce? It was real late in the game. He was about to launch. He's like, we're going to change something with drip. I forget what he said.
he changed the contract. There's something that it couldn't work in the old contract, so he had to completely move it over to the new contract for it to work. And there is a dogs component, but it's whether you want to get dogs or whether you want to get pigs. It's more in that alignment.
Okay, I thought there was something that was ultimately going to stimulate drip and be added.
It is, yes, that mechanism, but there's stuff that happens in the treasury component that.
Okay, got it. Okay,
but you got it. I mean, you understand it.
It's somewhere in there. It's in this brain somewhere.
I just heard you say that, and I could hear somebody go, "They're not doing."
Yeah, no, I appreciate the clarification, and obviously, like even Potter is still learning pieces with this. There's things to learn about the animal farm, and I even heard Stunna Breezy say it on one of his latest videos. Like, there's so much here that it couldn't all be explained in all the AMAs that he's done. And I think people are going to see many different ways. There's been about 1 billion strategy videos that came out in this 8-month hold of all these YouTubers saying, this is what my strategy is going to be. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I think that there's going to be so many more strategies that have been found once people have delved in it even longer. I say all that to say, I am very hopeful for this, because there is utility here. Again, utility for me, I had to understand what utility even meant. What I didn't realize, a lot of people have to lean towards a physical utility of, okay, Apple is good because it's a cell phone. Okay, you can call people, you can search the internet, all that. That is the utility of the product. Okay, it's a physical product. But you look at digital services like Zoom, that's nothing physical, but that is absolutely utility. So what we're talking about here with DeFi and talking about scratchies and the animal farm and all of the different components, this is real utility. And in my brain for so long, I didn't understand games and how that has utility. I'm saying that to the person that's wondering what the heck is all of this about. So it is gigantic. And I think for myself, I can't see the big complexity of it yet. But Potter, I wish I could be inside your brain to understand with your background, I wish I could be in your brain to understand the gravity of it, of having your background and understandings and seeings, and but it's really good to see, and I feel so good for Forex. Like I legitimately feel really good for him, because he took shit for a long time, and well deserved, but I feel really good for him that he's able to launch it. I mean, God, that's good. I can't imagine the sigh of relief. And when I actually heard, because I was watching AMAs and lives and all that, Driptopian killed it. He went live like 4 days straight during the delays and all that. But when I heard that it was actually live, I legitimately could breathe better. I was legit. Seriously, I was watching it. It was on break at work, and then I watched it live. It was live, and I sat there and I just went, okay. I'm down to ride. So that's how I feel. That's how Potter feels. We're wondering how you feel. Drop it down in the comments below. I'm seriously interested to see what the sentiment is all around, and it's just a damn good thing to see. So this was a major hurdle, and the future looks really friggin' bright. You got anything in closing?
Yeah, I love what you said about the utility when it launched, and you're just like, oh, like that to me was a changing point for you, because I think you were like, you know what? I think you weren't alone. I like this stuff. It's fun. It's exciting. I can see I'm going to make some money out of this, but I don't want to learn from this anymore. I don't want to learn about it if it's going to be all this stuff. My emotions are too important to me. And this is also with financial freedom. So it's just too close. So for me, when you have that, you can go, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah. I mean, I would be lying right here on camera to you, Potter, and to you watching and listening if I said in the past 8 months I didn't have moments where I was like, oh my God, I got to step away from this. I did say it on camera. I've got to step away from this crap. But now that it's been such an installment of trust that now, I feel like I have that emotional energy to be like, hey, next Friday, we're diving into this concept that I'm going to be like, what are you saying? Trying to learn it, because again, you get beat over the head so many times that, I mean, you know, it's tough. It's tough to come back to that. Don't react out of emotion. We've said it a billion times. React out of logic. React from logic. Sit back and look at what's in front of you. Try to react objectively.
Yeah.
We have emotions, so it's tough to do. But I'm excited. I'm friggin' excited.
And I'm happy that you made it through this. It was a long road, and congratulations to you. I was happy for you for actually making it through. Like, I can see it. I can even see what it's going to be.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I quit my job. It wasn't just because, crypto's cool. I saw this. I saw his plans. I liked the architecture. I had many months to decide, you know what? This is not going to work. I think I should go back to work before this launched.
Yep.
So this is really good, and I'm proud of you.
Really good stuff. Well, I appreciate it. And I mean, you're seeing some real raw stuff here, people. I've said it before to you, but I appreciate you, because one of the things that Potter and I have done is we've had to learn one another of understanding each other's we've never met in person, but understanding each other's emotions, and, you know, playing this game, the different backgrounds, running this show together, and, you know, figuring it's been a lot, but it's been really fun. And honestly, it's pressed me in ways that have made me grow. Maybe I don't see it now, maybe you don't see it now, but without a doubt, it has pressed me in good ways. So we'll keep documenting if you keep watching. As a matter of fact, we'll keep documenting regardless.
That's true.
That's true. No matter what. Era, appreciate you being here. Everybody else that was here, appreciate you. Potter, you got anything in closing?
No, thank you very much.
Without a doubt. We will see you next week. Builders, keep building.
Game on.
Congrats, Forex. Congrats.